Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jake Smith. This is the Bible Noter channel where we talk Jesus, we talk God, and we talk Bible. This morning I am in Genesis chapter 48, and my small group may get a little upset with me for jumping ahead. This is what I'm going over with them is the Joseph story in Genesis, which is an amazing story. A lot of people only know it as the story of the coat of many colors, but there's so much more to it. And this part of the story is towards the end, so big spoiler alert. Okay, so the coat of many colors was Joseph, who was the favored son of Jacob, who's also called Isreal. And his brothers, Joseph's brothers, didn't like him because he was the favorite. He was spoiled. Jacob pretty much said, hey, I love this guy more than you, to his brothers. And as you would imagine, that caused a lot of tension and strife, and they were going to kill him, but they decided not to and sent him away to be a slave in Egypt. Where he eventually rose to be the second most powerful man in the most powerful country the world has ever known up to that point. Here we are at the end of the story, or nearing the end of the story. Israel, or Jacob, is talking to his son Joseph. In verse 8 it says, when Israel saw Joseph's sons, he said, who are these? Joseph said to his father, these are my sons who God gave me here. And he said, bring them to me, please, that I may bless them. Now the eyes of Israel were dim with age, so that he could not see. He was old and he was going blind, and he was on his deathbed. He's dying in this story. So Joseph brought them near him, and he kissed them, and he embraced them. And Israel said to Joseph, Jacob, Joseph's dad, said to his son, I never expected to see your face. And behold, God has allowed me to see your offspring only. Then Joseph removed them from his knees, and he bowed himself with his face to the earth. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand and towards Israel's left hand, and Manasseh in his left hand towards Israel's right hand, and he brought them near him. So I'm jumping ahead of small group to because this part here, this excited me. It's something that I think we all need to take note of, and I'm going to go ahead and highlight it. It's a little bit highlighted, but I wanted to highlight it so you could see it more. Verse 11, he said, and Israel said to Joseph, I never expected to see your face, and behold, God has let me see your offspring also. Jacob is old. Jacob is dying. I don't know if you guys have ever seen somebody die. I have. I've seen somebody die, and I hope my family don't get upset with me for saying this, but I've seen somebody die, and I can still hear him saying, why me, Lord? I've done my duty. I imagine he was in a lot of pain when he said that. But Jacob here, he's dying. He could be scared. He could be in a lot of pain. He could just be old and kind of out of it. He could have said, why me? Why am I dying? Why now? He could have said any number of things, But he chose to see the blessing that's right in front of him. He chose to see what God did for him instead of what he's scared about. He was prepared to see God. He was prepared to die. And when you're prepared to die, I think that it allows you to see the positive. It allows you to see the blessings that God gives you. And in this verse, the blessing was that he never thought he'd see his son. And that's a big blessing, so yeah, he's going to take note of it. He never thought he'd see his son again. He thought his son was dead. And now he's getting to see his grandkids too. My point is, if you're right with God, if you're prepared for heaven, if you're a citizen of heaven already, it frees you up to see the blessing in the midst of your fear, no matter what you're facing. If it's death, if it's a big life change, man, sometimes a life change will happen and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, everything sucks and this and that, and it's like, man, why can't you see the blessing? If our mind isn't on track, if our heart isn't close to God, then it makes it harder to see that as citizens of heaven, that we are blessed by God even though the circumstances we're in are difficult. So whatever you're going through right now, whatever's got you scared, if you're facing death, if you are facing a major life change, if you are facing something that seems unbearable, if you are right with God, if you are covered in the blood of Jesus, if you are a citizen of heaven, then pray that God opens your eyes to the blessings in your life, because it makes life that much sweeter.